Welcome to the faculty-led program's Predeparture orientation. This orientation is designed especially for all faculty-led programs in the Center for Global Learning at Agnes Scott College. We know that preparing for travel is exciting, but can also seem overwhelming at times because of the abundance of information being shared with you. To help with this, we have created this presentation that answers the top questions Agnes Scott Scotties ask about their immersion experience. Number 1. I've never traveled before. What do I need to pack? That depends on where you are traveling. There is a recommended what to bring list located in CARTA under your course destination. Remember, for journeys, you are not allowed to check a bag, so packing smartly is essential. Additionally, everyone must be able to carry their own luggage, so ensure that you can do so easily. If you are not able to do so, please request accommodations with the Office of Accessible Education. Global Study Tour students may bring a checked bag, but please check your information on CARTA and speak with your faculty leader to see what size and weight allowance we have with the flight carrier. Though there are general standards for carry-on luggage, it is important that you double-check with each airline that you will travel on. You can determine the airline by checking the flight information available in your CARTA application for your course. Question number 2. Where can I find my flight information? For Journeys students, to find your flight information in CARTA, navigate to your section's applications. On the left-hand side, you will find the Document Center. Under the Document Center, you should find your flight itinerary. Closer to travel, the Center for Global Learning will upload the most recent itinerary, so look for the document with the most recent date. You will also receive an email letting you know when new flight information is uploaded. Remember, flight schedules are subject to constant change, so make sure to stay up to date about your flight times. Global Study Tours. Depending on the location, you may be responsible for booking your own flight. Listen to instructions from your faculty leader, especially regarding timelines. If you are responsible for your own flight, it is important that you think ahead and be prepared. Number 3. What can I expect at the airport? For transportation, all Journey students will be bused to and from the airport. All groups will meet at the main loop at their designated time to load the bus and transfer to the airport. The Center for Global Learning will share this detailed information prior to your departure by uploading in your Document Center in CARTA. Your faculty leader will also review the meet time in class. Depending on your flight, some groups will have to meet extra early, so make sure to set a couple of alarms. Global Study Tour students arrange their own transportation to and from the airport. This means that it is essential that you plan well and are on time. If you have concerns about this, you can speak to your faculty leader, fellow students, or the Center for Global Learning for advice. As you are packing your bag, it is important to ensure that you have a safe and secure place for your travel documents and other important documents you might be traveling with, such as credit cards, debit cards, and passports. It is recommended that you make extra copies of all important documents you may have. You should leave a copy in your residence hall or home and take one copy with you. Having a copy of these documents can expedite things in cases of replacement, should your document be lost in travel. In addition, the Center for Global Learning retains copies of passports and IDs for this purpose. While traveling, ensure that you secure your documents. If your accommodations do not include a safe, be judicious about leaving your documents. Should you carry your documents with you during the day, make sure that you keep them close by and not in an exposed or accessible pocket, especially when boarding public transportation or in large groups. In the case that something does go missing, report it immediately. Whether you are traveling domestically or internationally, you can expect the following when you arrive at the airport. You will check in and print your boarding pass. You will take a departure photo. You will go through a security screening. Make sure that you have your travel ID and boarding pass ready. Some airports have standard metal detectors and some have full body scanners. If you feel uncomfortable about passing through either, you may request a pat-down instead. While aboard the plane, you may receive a customs declaration form. Different countries ask different questions on this form. You should fill this out honestly and fully while still aboard the plane. Remember, the airport can seem hectic or intimidating, even for experienced travelers. But being prepared and thinking ahead will help to ensure a smooth and enjoyable experience. Security screening requires certain items to be removed from your bag, everything to be emptied from your pockets, metal, such as jewelry and belts, to be removed, and typically your shoes and jacket have to be taken off. It is important to have your ID and boarding pass ready. You can find more information at www.tsa.gov/travel. If you want a step-by-step breakdown of the process or would like to know what to do to make airport security as easy as possible, there are many videos on YouTube that go through the process and offer tips. Additionally, you can always speak to your faculty leader or meet with the Center for Global Learning to ask for advice. Question number 4. What about my health? Here are some health tips to think about during your global immersion travel. Hydration. Carry a water bottle and stay hydrated throughout your days. Nutrition. Make sure you're eating during your scheduled meal times and carrying snacks for additional energy. Sleep. Prioritize getting 6 to 8 hours per night. These destinations are going to be exciting and the day is long, but it is essential that you get enough rest. Medications. It is important to keep your normal medical routine throughout your travel. If possible, keep all medications in their labeled packaging and keep them with you. First aid kits will be provided for each faculty leader and co-leader. It will include basics such as Band-Aids, ointment, bug repellent, and headache medicine. A little bit of preparation ahead of time can go a long way for both your physical and mental health. As your global immersion trip is coming up, make sure to take a look at your itinerary. You can find your itinerary on Carta with your other documents. Look through it to see what you and your classmates will be doing while you're traveling. Be proactive. Try to identify ahead of time what days might be difficult for you and make a plan for what to do if you get overwhelmed. This could be physical or mental health related. For example, if you have difficulty with inclines and see that one day you will be climbing a mountain, that might be a physical health concern. If you're meeting with university students local to your destination one day and know that you struggle with social anxiety and meeting new people, that might be a mental health concern. If you are comfortable doing so, it would be a good idea to make the time to mention any days or activities you have concerns about to your faculty leader. That way they can be prepared in case you need extra support. Additionally, consider speaking with a professional. It may be beneficial to you to speak to a therapist or counselor about your itinerary and what concerns you have so you can make a plan ahead of time to keep yourself safe. Remember that the Wellness Center has resources available to students related to this. We must proactively consider both our physical health and mental health needs. The excitement and stress of a new environment and the dynamics of being part of a group can be emotionally challenging for anyone. With appropriate preparation and attentiveness to yourself as you travel, you will be prepared to recognize and handle these changes. Here are some additional important things to keep in mind. If you are currently seeing a counselor, make a plan with that provider. Be sure to ask if you can contact them while you are traveling, maybe via Skype, phone, email, or text. It would also be helpful if you could develop coping strategies with your counselor and anticipate the challenges that could arise while traveling. Also, being homesick is completely normal, especially if you have not traveled before. Come up with a plan of how to work through this before you travel. Some ideas may include bringing a special item from home, connecting with your loved ones once a day, or writing about your feelings in a journal. Be sure to keep the Wellness Center in mind and know that they can help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. That is why they are there. A quick note about vaccines and immunizations. Regardless of where you travel, you should be up to date on all your vaccines. Routine vaccinations protect against many diseases that are now rare in the United States, but may be more common in other countries. Other vaccines are recommended because there is a risk of disease in the country you are visiting. Which vaccines you need will be determined by where you are going, how long you are staying, and what you will be doing. Regardless of your global immersion destination, in order to travel with the college, you must have your COVID-19 vaccination. The Wellness Center can be a resource for you in preparation before and debriefing after your global immersion experience. The virtual care group provides students with 24/7 access to mental and physical well-being telehealth appointments. Please make an account either by scanning the QR code here or downloading the app before you need to use it. The Counseling and Psychological Services, also known as CAPS, can be a resource as well. If you would like to get connected with them, please email caps@agnescott.edu. Additionally, they have walk-in hours Mondays through Fridays from 1 to 3 p.m., which do not require an appointment. For 24/7 support, students can reach the counselor support line by calling 404-471-7100. The Wellness Center can also provide you with medical services. To make an appointment, email wellnesscenter@agnescott.edu or call 404-471-7100 extension 2. Positive COVID tests can be reported and COVID support can be accessed by emailing covidsupport@agnescott.edu. Number 5. What happens if there is an emergency? Students traveling internationally are covered by robust travel medical insurance. This coverage includes a network of hospitals around the world and access to English-speaking liaisons, who coordinate to ensure that emergencies are handled immediately. You will find a copy of the coverage in the required reading section in CARTA. For students traveling within the United States, you have submitted your personal insurance so that, in the case of an emergency, your program leader and the Center for Global Learning have your verified insurance information. It is important that you confirm your proof of health insurance form is completed in CARTA with your valid insurance information. While traveling, whether domestically or internationally, if you feel that you or one of your fellow students is in need of medical assistance, please go immediately to one of your program leaders. Program leaders are supported by staff in the Center for Global Learning, who coordinate with your insurance and your designated emergency contact to ensure that any Scottie facing an emergency is provided with the necessary medical care. As always, we hope that these resources remain rarely used, as Scotties travel safely and securely throughout the world. Preparation is key for this, so we ask that you think through your own self-care plan ahead of time and while you travel. Additionally, it is important that your emergency contact information is up to date prior to travel. Should you have any additional questions, please contact the Center for Global Learning. Number 6. What can I expect once I've arrived at my destination? As we discussed earlier, if you look at your itinerary, you can see what you are doing each day on your immersion week. Depending on your destination and the different day-to-day activities that you will participate in, there may be different levels of activity that you can expect. However, all sections of journeys and global study tours can anticipate walking between 2 to 4 miles each day. Even if this is not a health concern that you need to discuss with your faculty leader, this is something that you should prepare yourself for. Depending on the climate in your host location, you may also need to consider whether you'll be walking in the heat under the sun or if it might be cold and snowy. Walking, hiking, and other physical activity are an important aspect of the global immersion experience, and you will enjoy them more if you are prepared physically and mentally to take them on. If you require accommodations, please reach out to the Office of Accessible Education. Getting around while you're abroad. As a part of our commitment to sustainability, another way that you can expect to travel within your global immersion destination is by taking public transportation. Whether you are accustomed to taking public transportation or not, utilizing it in another country may prove to be an entirely new experience. However, this is something that you will be capable of doing. Not only do many people use public transportation to commute, run errands, etc. every day across the world, but your class will prepare to navigate the system together. If you are worried about this, your faculty leaders are there to support you. Navigating cultural differences. Each location comes with its own culture. This means that what is considered normal changes depending on where you are. It can be difficult to be an outsider in a different country or place. You may also have to be concerned about things that are harder to control consciously, like your voice, language, or mannerisms. The food and language is likely different too. All of this leads to culture shock, which can be overwhelming. You may feel that you are being intrusive or self-centered by imposing yourself on your host location, and worry about making mistakes or saying something wrong. This can lead to an urge to withdraw and participate minimally or not at all. However, the global immersion experience is most rewarding when you take part to the full extent of your capacity. You can prepare yourself for culture shock by speaking with your faculty leader about what cultural differences you can expect. An open mindset, being willing to see this as an adventure and a challenge during which you are expected to learn and make mistakes, can help you to appreciate and learn from the differences you see from your own culture, instead of feeling isolated or rude. While we do try to best prepare our hosts by letting them know our Scotties pronouns, we know that in some places, discussing pronouns is not as common as it is in the US. It has happened in the past that our hosts have unintentionally misgendered students or referred to our groups as ladies or girls. Be prepared that this may be a challenge Scotties experience. Our program leaders will do their best to make sure students' pronouns are honored and that our collective and individual group members are addressed appropriately. But we also ask that students practice patience and understanding if such unwelcome surprises happen. Consider that this may be an opportunity for learning for everyone, for us as travelers, and for our hosts. Remember, the Wellness Center and CAPS are a resource that you can access to help you prepare emotionally and mentally, or to process after you return. If your destination is in a country that is not majority English speaking, this can serve as a culture shock and challenge as well. Before going on your global immersion experience, think about the challenges you might face in a country that is not English speaking and how you can prepare yourself for them. If it's a language you study or speak, you may see this as an opportunity to be a leader within your class and practice your language skills. If it is a language you are unfamiliar with, you might make a list of words that would be helpful for you to know, like please, thank you, etc. Remember that you are not going to these places alone and will have the support of your faculty leader and fellow Scotties. You should prepare yourself for the potential shock and challenges, but you are not in this alone. Number 7. How can I stay connected with family and friends while traveling? Staying connected to family and friends is another important component of your global immersion experience. Here are some tips to help you stay connected. It is important to consider that Wi-Fi access may not be as easy to come by when you are traveling. Before departure, make sure to have a game plan with your loved ones in case you aren't able to connect with them. Remember that your faculty and co-leaders will be required to post on the Agnes Abroad Facebook page throughout the trip, so encourage your loved ones to join for the most up-to-date information. Sharing your adventures via social media is a great way to keep your loved ones and friends up to date and to chronicle your experiences for your own reflection later. If you choose to post to social media while you are traveling and want friends, family, and the Agnes Scott community to see your photos, post them to our Facebook page, Agnes Abroad. We have also created specific hashtags for each journey's destination. Remember, when posting pictures on any social media platform associated with the college, make sure your posts represent you and your fellow Scotties appropriately. If you are traveling internationally, you will want to ensure that you have a functional mobile phone in case of emergencies. If you prefer to take your own phone, it is recommended that you talk with your mobile service carrier. Make sure you have the appropriate adapters to adapt US plugs to the style used in your destination. You should also check each device you wish to take with you. Different countries use different voltages to power homes and businesses. For example, the US uses 120 volts, while Europe uses 230 volts, meaning that a gadget not suited for 230 volts will become overloaded. Most chargers are labeled with the voltage suitable for that item. Adapters will also be available for checkout in the Center for Global Learning, and the request form will be shared in the pre-departure email. Number 8. Does the code of conduct still apply when traveling? Yes. Even though you are not on campus, the Agnes Scott Honor Code and Code of Conduct still apply. there are some code of conduct policies you should pay special attention to while you are traveling. You must attend all scheduled events and follow all instructions given by your program leader. Additionally, you must demonstrate respect for all members of your group. Regardless of local laws in your destination of travel, no student is allowed to consume alcohol or non-prescription drugs. Swimming must always be done under the supervision of a trained lifeguard. All students must abide by a midnight curfew unless given express consent from a course leader. Host families cannot grant curfew extensions. For an exploration done without the group, you must always be accompanied by another Scottie, and there must always be one working, charged, mobile phone between you. No matter the country of your destination, you are bound to the local laws. Ignorance of that law is not an excuse for breaking it. Additionally, your immersion experience is part of a course, so your behavior should always be classroom appropriate. Agnes Scott wants you to know that the same understandings around healthy relationships, bystander intervention for your fellow students, and support services available to you apply in your travel program. The same misconduct applies in your Journeys or Global Study Tours program just as it would on your home campus. If someone in your group has faced violence, discrimination, harassment, or misconduct based upon sex or gender, including gender identity, report the incident immediately to your local program contact. You may also report an incident using the college's highly secure reporting site. The college will promptly look into the incident and provide any necessary help and accommodations that it can. If you or someone else requires medical attention from sexual misconduct, seek it immediately from a recommended facility. Please note that there may also be cultural differences in medical facilities, treatment approaches, and views regarding sexual misconduct in your host country. However, Agnes Scott will provide you with the same type of support, accommodations, and remedies as those normally available to you. Number 9, our mission and sustainability. As part of our mission to live honorably, Agnes Scott College accepts the challenge of environmental stewardship, commits to education and leadership in intersectional environmental action, justice, and sustainability, and seeks to balance what the college takes from and returns to the world's natural resources. The college has active climate action and climate resilience plans, with a goal of climate neutrality by 2037. These plans include aggressive reductions in campus energy use, which is the largest contributor to the college's carbon footprint. Agnes Scott is also considering options for reducing the carbon impact of college travel. Especially when traveling on global learning journeys and global study tours via airplane and/or bus, we know that our travel leaves a footprint on this earth, and we pledge to find ways to decrease that footprint locally whenever possible, and to offset it beyond the travel location when it cannot be reduced or eliminated. Take a look at the list below and pick 1 or 2 things to commit yourself to carry out to the best of your ability. Focused action like this is the best thing you can do to cut carbon and energy costs personally. Number 10. Will I be safe while traveling? The biggest tool you have to help ensure your own safety is your common sense. Just as you would if you were in any big city in the United States, you should always pay attention to your surroundings to avoid unsafe and unwanted situations. This means paying attention not only to the people and situations around you, but also what personal belongings you are carrying with you. For Journeys, the Immersion Experience Code of Conduct states that you must always travel with a buddy anytime that you separate from the group. This means that you must be with a fellow Scottie and must have a charged mobile phone with you at all times. This policy is in place for all Journeys immersion experiences to ensure that all first years remain safe during traveling. For Journeys, in addition to a faculty leader, students will travel accompanied by a Schmidt Global Student Leader, an upper-class student who has been selected to assist the faculty leader and students. They too are a resource to help Scotties be prepared for potential future challenges. Number 11. Is there anything else I should know? As exciting as study abroad and travel can be, there are also some last-minute housekeeping items that you shouldn't lose sight of as you prepare for departure. Make sure that you've completed all requirements in CARTA. This includes reviewing your program or section's application page to ensure all of the boxes are checked off. If the Center for Global Learning needed additional information from you, such as health information, a special request would have been sent to you via email and required paperwork placed in your document center. Double-check your document center to ensure that you have fulfilled any special requirements. All travelers must complete requirements to be allowed to travel. This includes all questionnaires, signature documents, this pre-departure orientation, and anything associated with your application in CARTA. Though it is your responsibility to ensure all required documents are completed, the Center for Global Learning is here to assist you in doing so. Do not hesitate to contact our office should you need any additional assistance. Congratulations! You have completed your faculty-led program's pre-departure orientation. We hope this presentation was helpful and prepared you for your global learning experience. If anything was unclear or you have any additional questions or concerns, please contact the Center for Global Learning for assistance. We hope you are excited for this amazing experience. Safe travels to all!